All right, so we go ahead and get it started. If you're in here right now, we got a few viewers in here. If you're in here right now, go ahead and let me know. Leave a comment if you can. I appreciate it very much. Then we'll go ahead and get started. We got a few, like I said, we got a few viewers in here, so should be going for today. So if you're in here right now, this is episode number 13 of the Life of Champ podcast. For today's topic is going to be control what you can control, as well as just being consistent on the things that you want to be consistent in life, which typically is going to be consistency within like habits and stuff like that, or in relationships as well, just being consistent with people. So those are going to be the topics for today. Um, yeah, just go ahead and say what's good if you are in here right now, and then, like I said, we'll go ahead and get started. We were supposed to have somebody on the podcast today, but instead we're just going to have me, which is just fine with me. It kind of goes hand in hand with the title for today, which it wasn't. That's not intentional. We're going to talk about it anyways, but just controlling what you can control. You know, if somebody doesn't want to be on the podcast, or somebody doesn't make it for whatever reason, I can't be mad about it. I can't feel any type of way about it. Honestly, I just control with what I control, and if it's something I can't control, just release the tension that I might have towards the thing that I can't control. So there you go. All right. So for this philosophy, it's going to, or just control what you can control, is philosophy that's based in Stoic philosophy. It's one of the things that they mention. It's one of the things that I've heard through my self development journey. I've heard it time and time again. This simple phrase. So it's pretty good. Um, Basically, life's full of unpredictabilities, and you cannot get too tied into how they make you feel, especially if it's a situation which you cannot control. Um, Pretty much, it explains itself. It realistically explains itself, but I still see people that need to hear this. I see people all the time. Like, for example, one of the examples that I used in my Instagram live earlier was I've seen people get pissed off because it's hot outside. Majority of people spend their time inside, and you're pissed off because it's hot outside. If you are, if okay, if it being hot outside pisses you off that much, move. Simple as that. If it's ruining your mood, which, like I said, I've known too many people that it does this to, move. Simple. You are creating your own stress. Ridiculous. This is something you can control. That is something you can control. Hello, hello. Appreciate you for stopping by. Um, but yeah, like I said, life's filled with unpredictability. Just get rid of the things that get rid of the feelings, rather, of the things you cannot control that make you upset. So for sure. The next one is release the control aspect, like the feeling that you need to control some of the things that can't be controlled, because that's another thing. Some situations are specific to that, and you just have to kind of just almost like submit to just life itself and saying, you know what, I'm not 100% in control all the time, and that's okay. Just having that mind frame, because there's people that exist that are control freaks that, like I said, if things don't go 100% their way, they have a mental breakdown, or they're distraught, right? Just being aware and conscious to the fact that, there's going to be circumstances in life that you don't have the most control over, and that's okay. So, yeah. And then, with that being said, you just kind of have to really analyze the way it actually is. So you have to. The Stoic philosophies is just basically saying remove emotion from um, situations that might provoke emotion. Um, so yeah, pretty much just release the feeling you need to control, and then, like I said, really analyze such a situation for what it is. And obviously, with this practice, it's obviously easier said than done. I would say that's pretty self-explanatory, right? Easier said than done, but with like all inputs and all pieces of, well, I'll say quotes rather. With all quotes, it has to be a constant source of input. So if you believe this right now, and say, you know what, control what you can control, release the tension for the things in which you cannot control, then it should be something that you constantly remind yourself. I don't know, every so often, just so that message is unforgettable, I guess. Because, like I said, there's going to be moments in life where you're going to blow up, you're going to have an emotional reaction towards something you cannot control, and if you have that constant reminder, it's gonna really put you in the moment, and then kind of like hopefully put you at ease to some regard. And then yeah, so that's what I would say. Yeah, that constant reminder is definitely key for sure. And if you're in it right now, we got a few people in here. Go ahead and leave a comment. I appreciate you guys for stopping by. But yeah, that's how we're gonna go ahead and get it started. If you have any specific inputs to some of the things that I said, also leave a comment for that as well. All right. And then the second part of the episode is going to be about consistency, which I'll get into it in a second. But yeah. And also, if you're excited about the new equipment that I got, because we're obviously gonna have more people in here, um, let me know about that as well. We actually got another mic. What's up, Jordy? We actually got another mic. We got two headphones, and well, now we have three headphones technically, but we have two extra headphones, so anyone that comes on the podcast will be able to hear the sound effects that I play as well, which I did actually add some more today. So that's definitely pretty nice. Hopefully, I'm gonna try to get by the end of next week. I want to have like about like 20 to 30 different sound effects that we can add on. Just gives the entertainment value just a little bit something more. Which I would say when I watch a podcast and they have sound effects and they use them correctly, it's definitely much appreciated and so much more entertaining than just regular talking. But it is what it is. I probably won't use them as much unless I have a ridiculous amount of engagement within the comments. I probably won't use them in my individual podcasts, but that's okay. Um, and if you have any specific sound effects that you want to hear on the podcast, let me know as well. Because I know there's a lot of different people that have their own favorite sound effects that they've deemed to be the most funny. Um, yeah, let me know about that as well because I want to get you guys' input because if you're watching it and I want this to be the most enjoyable experience that you can possibly have, just getting your own input about sound effects that can possibly be on the podcast because I can pretty much put anything that could be replayed on my phone could be put in the audio. So with the soundboard that I bought, which was pretty expensive, it's called the Tascam Mixcast 4. It is fantastic because, like I said, even if I wanted to play music, um, I can play music and record the music that I want to play, which obviously with copyright obviously can't do that, but for my own personal sake, I could do that or any specific. I was thinking about adding like parts of like songs, like short clips of songs, like some of the funnier ones. I was thinking about that. Very excited about the three mics because last week's podcast was cool with three on the podcast. Yeah, I definitely enjoyed it as well. And one thing that I will say about that podcast that you guys kind of don't know about is me and it was pretty late. It was pretty late podcast, honestly, because it was one of our later ones. Just kind of life comes up, and we just kind of have to roll with it. But I don't think we ended the podcast until like maybe like 11 or something like that. We still talked for like 2 hours after because we had so much conversation built up, and some of the things you cannot have a conversation about on the podcast, unfortunately. But they're just more controversial ideas, I guess. But we had I recorded it on my soundboard, so there's no camera footage to it, but I definitely got to record it because I thought it was pretty interesting. We got into topics like religion and stuff like that, which like I said isn't probably the best type of content everyone should be consuming, but it's definitely very very thought provoking, and I definitely had a great conversation with them. They're definitely some of my favorite people to have conversations with. Anthony, as we grew up together, the conversation definitely got way better, and with Rudy, um, as when we started getting close, like about like 2 years ago, roughly, and conversations with him has always been pretty nice because we have a lot in common. Um, Basically, anybody that I can play basketball with, and then have somewhat of an intellectual conversation with, pretty much works in our favor with conversation. So definitely nice. But yeah, I definitely spent another bag on the mics or the mic and the headphones, but it is what it is, man. It'll definitely be more entertaining. And the next thing I want to buy, I think so, is probably going to be a little desk, just so everyone can sit at it and it'd be easier to see everybody. I was asleep, but I'm finally here. Anthony was good. Appreciated my dog. Thank you for stopping by. So yeah, I'll kind of go over some of the things we talked about earlier. So, uh, for today's topic, control what you can control. It's a Stoic philosophy. I want to say Marcus Aurelius, one of the Stoics. He was one of the founding people that created this philosophy. Basically, there's going to be situations in life um, that are going to be unpredictable, and you just kind of have to roll with it. And from there, if it's something you can't control, don't act like you can't control it. Um, so yeah, basically just saying, okay, I'm accepting of what the situation is, and I also recognize because it's something I can't control that it doesn't always need an emotional reaction. Um, it's also one of the philosophies that I had in my book. It was kind of it kind of deals back to the example that I used earlier, but in the Seven Habits of Highly Effective People, which is going to be that book right there, which you cannot see really well, but that one right there, it talks about being proactive versus reactive, and um, with that idea, it's it's pretty much hand in hand with the control which you can't control. Basically, proactive person. We'll use the example of the weather being hot, right? A proactive person would say something along the lines of, "Okay, it's hot outside, but I could just take my ass inside, and it won't be hot anymore. I won't feel upset, whatever the case may be, right?" A reactive person is going to say, "Oh my God, this weather is so hot." Complain, 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 even though in reality they can just take their ass inside, which majority of people stay inside anyways, and go from there. So reactive, proactive, and then like I said, control what you can't control. That's something that you can't control because you can just stay inside, and yeah. Another thing is just being able to release the need to control everything, because obviously there's a lot of things. There's a lot of things in life you can't control, and there's a lot of things in life you definitely can't control. Um, Release the tension for the things you can't control, and then it'll be a little bit easier to live life. Um, and then obviously, all these things are going to be easier said than done, but just having that constant reminder, that constant input, that's going to um, really establish this idea that is beneficial. If you, I would say it's pretty beneficial. And if you think it's beneficial, then it's probably something that needs to be a constant reminder. Because if it's not a constant reminder, there's going to be situations that that are going to have an emotional reaction that isn't exactly warranted. When in reality, if you had this constant input, you'd be able to recognize it before you start having the emotional reaction. So just with anything, gotta have that constant reminder for sure. And then we're also going to talk about consistency. So we'll get into consistency real quick. So in this episode, I want to talk about being consistent within habits. So what it takes to be consistent within habits or consistent with anything, you need to have some type of plan or need to have some type of structure. Um, for habits in general, you definitely need a structure, and just having consistency in other areas of life, you're definitely going to need to have a plan, because if you don't have a plan, then you don't know you kind of don't know what you're doing. You're kind of just hoping that it'll just fall into place. But if you have a plan, you have a plan. Simple as that. Not planning to fail or failing to plan is planning to fail. I think that's I'm pretty sure that applies. And then when it comes to being consistent in something, you have to be convinced that what you're doing is worthwhile, and something that's not only worthwhile but something worth doing. So um, that also needs to be a constant reminder as well, because there's some good habits that you can do that you should be doing, and you kind of have to you kind of need that constant reminder to say, okay, it's basically positive reinforcement, just knowing that that's going to be a good thing that you're doing, because there's situations, a lot of people, I would say pretty much everybody, start a good habit, goes pretty good for a little bit, and then eventually kind of like ends or you stop doing it for whatever reason. Um, but if you have that constant reinforcement of positivity, then it's going to be a little bit easier to do. There's going to be less resistance, and it'll definitely help you maintain consistency. So that's pretty good. If you're in here right now, I know we have a few people in here. If you have any comments regarding whatever I'm saying, go ahead and leave a comment. I'd appreciate it very much. But yeah, give me 1 second. All right, we back. We back. Also, if you have any recommendations regarding any of the podcast equipment or um, any recommendations regarding like ways we can improve, go also let me know about that as well. Whether you're rewatching this again and you have a suggestion, go ahead and leave it in the comments as well. But if you're watching this live, also go ahead and let me know. Eventually, well, hmm, by the end of this month, I want to learn how to post clips on TikTok. It's something that I'm definitely going to be looking into. I have plenty of content that I can just clip. So I'll just rewatch some of the older podcasts and then some of the better moments, some of the more interesting, controversial, and thought-provoking topics. I'll definitely have to go ahead and clip those, put them into TikTok because TikTok is very popular nowadays. I definitely don't have it, but it could definitely be very beneficial when it comes to the marketing aspect of building a business on the internet like this. It could definitely be key. So I'll probably be doing that. And if you know anybody that is really into TikTok and might want a job, might want a little side hustle for it, let me know because I'm also considering that. That's something that I'm going to be considering in the future with clipping stuff like that. Um, I would be willing probably to pay somebody to have like a TikTok. I've been trying to it's absolutely horrible right now. It's okay, Anthony. Everybody has their days, man. You can't control it, man. You can't control it, man. It's all good, man. You can't control it. Release attention for it and go from there, man. It's all good. It happens. That's how life is, man. But you know, you can't be pissed off at it, man. You can't be pissed off. It's okay. Your spelling is also slacking. That's something you can't control. So go ahead and get that. Go ahead and get that underway, man. Come on now, Anthony. Your Wi-Fi is struggling, my boy. Struggling. When Anthony hop into live, straight struggling. Straight struggling. Got that error message. Come on now, come on, my boy. Yeah. So there you go, Anthony. Come on now. You got it, man. Yeah. So if you have any other comments that you would like to add on to the podcast, let me know. Like I said, something I want to do. If you are also rewatching this, leave a comment. I'm going to mention that every single time in every podcast. Hopefully, from moving forward, if you are rewatching this, leave a comment saying that you're rewatching it, and also tell me your favorite part as well. Definitely great for engagement, and I appreciate it very much. Yeah, so this podcast is also going to be a little bit one of our shorter ones. I just didn't have too much planned. Like I said, originally it was supposed to be with somebody else, but unfortunately they were unable to come. But that's okay, because like I said, something I couldn't control. Show must still must go on. So we're going and doing it right now. So there you go. And then also, we should have the next few podcasts should have guests. I want to say the next 4 or 5 podcasts should all have either a new person or definitely just two people. So this upcoming week we're going to have Noah, my boy. We're going to talk about some basketball. So we got the playoffs starting very very soon. So we're going to go ahead and give our playoff predictions. Probably going to be that 15th. So April 15th. Um, that's probably when it's going to be. And then I'm also going to have my sister coming on very soon here. So that's going to be something to look out for as well. And then also we're going to have him back on. And then we'll probably have somebody else with him, but I'm not too sure who yet. But it definitely should be a good podcast. Yeah, yeah. So pretty much. And like I said, if you have anybody in particular that you've liked watching on the podcast that hasn't been on in a while, go ahead and let me know as well, just so we can go ahead and get some more engagement for sure. Yeah, so I'm looking probably to do this one for about an hour, so probably go ahead and give it about 20 more minutes, and then I'll go ahead and go from there. All right. So, yeah, I'm definitely interested in adding more sound effects. So, sound effects are going to be definitely going to be interesting. Not every podcast has sound effects, which is kind of crazy. 21st century, it's 2022, and not every podcast has sound effects. If you want more entertainment value, and if you have a podcast, which majority of people watching this are probably not going to have their own podcast, get sound effects. Or if you watch a podcast and they don't have sound effects, comment saying they need to add sound effects because sound effects can definitely higher the quality for damn sure. So I know a few podcasts that do it. You can make a like a 10 TikTok videos alone just from yeah, exactly, Anthony. That's what I'm saying though. I'm looking forward to that. Um, definitely making more TikToks. I would definitely yeah, I probably could definitely have like two or three that are gonna be viral from that. Just because Anthony, you're a funny guy, man. You're a funny guy, and people will love you. So yeah, that should be good though. I just gotta learn how to do it, and then I wanna make little certain edits. Like I know people will like have the individual, like they kind of like zoom in on one person, and then they switch it. Like yeah, so there's certain things I want to do with that. And eventually I'm not gonna be. I can't. I'm gonna learn how to do it. So everything within this, I'm gonna learn how to do it, and then eventually I'm going to teach somebody or hire somebody to do it for me, just so I can speed up the process. Get Jay and him on the same time. That can be hilarious. Okay. So I'll ask Jay and him if they want to be on. I don't know. It'd probably have to be probably 2 Fridays from now. So not next Friday, but the Friday after that. I'll let them know though. Um, yeah. I wish they both had Snapchats, but they both don't. Or Heem does, but Dylan doesn't. But yeah, I'll go ahead and let him know. That should be a good one as well. Because we've had plenty of great times at work, or where I used to work, and yeah, that would definitely be an entertaining podcast. Heem and Jay, and then also if you have anybody else that you think would be interested, or rather, um, a good combination, a good dynamic duo, that would be pretty good to watch. Besides Jay and Heem and Anthony and Rudy, let me know because definitely gonna have two extra people on. I want to do it at least a few more times this month because I feel like that's gonna be the most entertaining podcast. You get a bunch of different viewpoints, and then um, yeah, I would say the entertainment value is gonna be there for sure. No matter who I have on, it'll definitely be pretty funny. So yeah. Plus, with some of the people that I have on, like him and Jay, there's gonna be some high level conversations, which are great, definitely great, and definitely something I would love to watch. So yeah, should be good. Um, hmm. All right, so let me see where I go from here. So, do you have any specific questions regarding some of the topics, Anthony? Because I know you're probably one of the people watching this, which I appreciate you. But do you have any other questions regarding any of the topics that we went over today? Whether that's consistency, whether that's the Stoic philosophy of controlling what you can't control, let me know. All right. This is how this podcast been like. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way, man. Ain't no way, man. Y'all sleeping today, man. It's all good though. The podcast with more people should definitely be, like I said, a lot more entertaining. Definitely have the higher views on those as well. But yeah, should be good. Should be good. Yeah. If you have any specific sound effects, let me know, please, because I have 64 available spots for sound effects, and I want to have like 30 by the end of this month, which kind of we're a little bit close to halfway. No, we're still in the beginning of this month, about a fourth in. Um, I want to get about at least 30 of them filled, which should be pretty easy. I know everybody has their own specific favorite, whether it's memes or whether it's just specific sound effects that are in videos. Let me know because those are gonna be interesting for sure. So yeah. All right. Pretty sure he's typing something up, so we'll go ahead and wait on that. Also, one thing I definitely want to do very, very soon. I know I've been saying this for a minute now, but I want to start. I want to. I just got to find the right person to do conspiracy theories with. I want to do a very thorough podcast on conspiracy theories because that would be, man, that's TikTok worthy for damn sure. Anything with conspiracy theories, anything that's super super thought provoking is going to be great. The hardest thing about having two people on though would definitely be staying on topic. Yes, that's something that we definitely struggle with. Well, actually, I would say we did a pretty decent job at it. I'm not gonna say we did the best, but we did good enough. We did good enough. But here's the thing: as long as the quality doesn't go down, what is the best way to build and maintain consistency? Um, I kind of went over it a little bit, but um, to build and maintain consistency, so you need some type of structure or a plan. That definitely goes into um, maintaining or building, like I said, realistically, just having a plan for it, and then also having that constant reinforcement of just knowing that what you're doing is the right thing. So, for example, let's just go ahead and use working out, right? So you need to have that constant reminder that working out is great for you, and not only that, you will also see the benefits of it, and just by itself, just by you doing it. Pretty much whatever habit you do, hopefully it's going to be a good habit, and it'll give you some type of positive reinforcement just by you doing it, and then like adding structure or having consistency within the structure or plan is definitely good. So whether this is just implementing it within your day, um, so maybe like for me personally, I write down all the or most of my days. I write down specifically what I want to get done in that day, and then I write down the specific habits that I want to do as well. So yeah, that's the way I would say to build and maintain consistency. Yeah, I would say that's pretty solid. I would say because you definitely, let's just say you start a habit, you definitely want to have the least amount of resistance when it comes to building that habit, or rather consistently doing it. Get rid of distractions. That's gonna maintain it. Just getting rid of distractions and negative inputs that are not gonna suit your self that does the habit. So yeah, that's what I would say. Probably need to turn these lights down. Honestly, it's all good though. Yeah, so we'll give it a few more minutes. Wait for a little bit more people to come in here, and then we'll go ahead and wrap it up. Appreciate you guys for stopping by though, leaving comments. But yeah, should be good. Should be. I'm looking forward to this upcoming week. We have new people coming on the podcast, so that is going to be fantastic. Got people that have been waiting to get on the podcast, straight waiting, asking me every week, "Hey, can I be on? Hey, can I be on? We finally gonna have you on now." So yeah, we asked. We also got some people that are coming on that people have been wanting to come on. So that's gonna be really nice as well. And then also with this specifically for you, what do you think are ways to build and maintain consistency? What is your own answer to that? And what do you think about the control? What you can control? Stoic philosophy as well. Yeah, if you're watching that, leave it in the comments as well. And also today got on the Dreamville shirt. Shout out to Dreamville. They just released their D-Day mixtape that just came out. Man, I mentioned that one of the last podcasts. Great, great album for sure. Got some bangers. So my favorite ones, I'll go ahead and let you know, just so I can put y'all on. All right, so we got Barry from Simpson with 2 Chainz and JID. JID goes absolutely bonkers on that. That man goes crazy. Another one I like is Freedom of Speech by J. Cole. I mentioned that. Um, I think I mentioned that in the podcast with Rudy, if I'm not mistaken. That one is definitely one that I would recommend everyone listen to. Talking about ZZ Top, a sleep, man. Like I said, you sleep on that one, man. That bar is hard, man. Um, Lifestyle with Boz and ASAP. That was also definitely a good one as well. And then we got Stick with JID, J. Cole. And you also got a few other boys or we got Shaq West as well in there. And a few other people from Dreamville. Definitely a good one as well. Yeah, those are some good ones. But yeah, we got this at the concert. Fantastic concert. Like I said, top 3 moment of my entire life. It's fitting pretty good. More gains I get, the better the shirt fits. So I'm glad we got the size we got. I'm pretty sure the size that I wanted to get was also sold out, but it's all good though, because this one's just gonna be just fine. So yeah, it's definitely pretty nice. I'll definitely give it the Dreamville quality. Quality shirts, great. Definitely not no shit quality. And one thing with concerts and stuff like that as well. A lot of the clothes they make, they just want to make as many as they can with and spend the littlest amount of money they can. So they'll give you shit quality shirts and be okay with it. I'm not gonna call it any specific rappers, but there's definitely a lot that do that, which is not cool because you're literally just trying to make a bag instead of give your fans quality shit. Like that's something I would say. This is probably the only shirt that I got out of some of the concerts that I went to that they actually had quality T-shirts. Maybe because they had been already printed some of these shirts, but don't give me some shit quality shirts. Like I'll still wear them, but like man, come on now, come on now. You gotta do the right thing. You gotta do the right thing for the people, man. We're gonna make them pay $40 per shirt or something crazy like that. Just make sure this shit's good. Come on now. Shout out to Devin Booker, halftime right now in the Suns game. That man got out 24 piece already. And I can't even believe the Suns are actually still playing their people. By the way, that shit makes I don't know. That shit makes no sense. Do you think it's possible to have consistency without discipline, or better yet, do you think someone without a trained mind can have positive consistency? Yeah, I think so. I think eventually, if you have the habit instilled so much, um, that it can be unconscious, which is definitely something you want to get to with all of your habits. You want them to be unconscious things that you don't even have to plan for. Like for me, one unconscious thing that I've maintained for a long period of time was just washing my face twice a day. It's not even something I think about. It's not something I'm like, oh, I have to do that. Like it's like, oh yeah, like I'm just doing it anyways. Like it's this word I learned in Atomic Habits, which is the building habits book right here, is automaticity, which is basically doing things with an unconscious mind because you already know that you should be doing that. So that's definitely the goal that people should strive for when it comes to building habits, anyways. But yeah, I think it's possible to have consistency without discipline. You just kind of course, I feel like it's impossible to have the consistency before the discipline. That's for damn sure. You need to at one point in time have the discipline, and then eventually, the consistency will lead, and then the self discipline is no longer needed because it's automatic. Yeah. Or better yet, do you think someone without a trained mind can have positive consistency? Um, no, not exactly. And I'm not kind of agree with it earlier, but nah, not really, honestly. Um, it also depends what it is. You're gonna make the most progress with having a trained mind and being disciplined than you will, um, having an untrained mind and you can't expect to have the most positive consistency. Can you still do it? Yes, you can do it, but you're not going to be able to maintain it, and you're not going to be able to consistently do it enough for it to be something of grand positive positive consistency, I guess. So yeah, you're not gonna be able to do it on bigger scale. You would just be doing it at that point, which is okay. If that's okay, I guess. But like I said, if you're trying to build something for a lifetime, you gotta have that discipline and you gotta have a trained mind for that. So for sure. And yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end it off in about 5 minutes. If you're in here right now, leave a comment. I appreciate you for coming in clutch, Anthony, carrying the chat every time, man. Like you were saying, man, with the more people we get in here, man, the more the quality of the content goes up for sure. So yeah, we gotta stay consistent with the habit. So like I said, we doing the podcast twice a week. So we doing it twice a week. I said twice a week, so we doing it twice a week, man. So yeah. So if you like I said, if you're watching this and if you've made it this far and you're watching this on a replay, I appreciate you. Make sure you leave a comment, and I'll make sure I'll comment back on that comment for sure. Appreciate it. Um, but yeah, I'm gonna try to wrap it up with something positive. Let me just think about it real quick. Um, yeah, we'll go ahead and we'll end it off with this right here, right? So we'll end it off with one of the things I mentioned in one of the first podcasts I did by myself, right? Is the concept of asking yourself hard questions. So one of the hard questions the first one that I asked, and if you're somebody close to me and I haven't asked you this question, or if you're somebody close to me and you haven't answered this question for yourself, you need to answer this question. What do you want your life to look like? Period. If money wasn't a thing, what do you want it to look like? And don't choose the job you want to. Don't choose the job you want to have. Choose the life you want to live. Because if you choose the job that you want to have, then your lifestyle and the amount of money you make is set. But if you choose the life you want to live, then you got to learn how to make that money and what lifestyle you want to achieve in order to fulfill that life. So definitely got to. That's definitely something that's key for sure, Anthony. I'm pretty sure I want to talk to you. I wanted to talk to you about that, and I'm pretty sure we've talked about it before, but definitely become very clear on that because the clearer you become on that, the easier it is to live life, and the easier it is to make decisions based off of the grand picture. And then also, with hand in hand goes the idea that I had, which I've done it before, is let's just say you're at your funeral, right? How do you want people to be? How do you want people to remember you? What things do you want to have accomplished by the time you're dead? These are things that you should really take into consideration for doing. Because I have an entire journal based off of all the things that I already accomplished, based off of all the ways that I would like people to perceive me as, which is, you know, I would say, and people's answers are going to be relatively the same when it comes to people's perceptions of them. But what do you want to have accomplished? What do you want to be remembered for? Because man, like everybody's going to be different in that regard, but you definitely got to take that into account because that shit can tell you a whole lot about yourself, and that'll also tell you if you're doing something wrong. And if you're doing something wrong, obviously take the action necessary to bring you what's going to bring you fulfillment. Which at the end of the day, when it's all wrapped up, when it's all said and done, when you're in the ground, people are going to remember you for the things that they should remember you for. So yeah, definitely do that because that's definitely key for sure. Yeah, so that's pretty much how I'm gonna end it off. I know we didn't have too many people coming here today, but that's all right. Um, definitely got some good stuff coming up this week, Wednesday. Probably going to have my sister on. So looking forward to that. And then on Friday, we're probably gonna have Noah on. We're probably gonna talk basketball, so that should be a good one as well. And like I said, if you're in here, I appreciate you for stopping by. And this week and the following weeks to end this month should definitely be interesting and definitely you got to tune in for that, for damn sure. More people coming on the podcast. Should have some. I want to say I want to at least have 3 more podcasts of where I have 3 people by the end of this month. So that would definitely be interesting for sure. So yeah.